Hello मेरे प्यारे students, welcome back. Chalo, let's smash this chapter together for your exams. And hey, if you like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you want to see next. Just imagine, you're in charge of Flipkart, and you have 1 lakh orders to manage. But you have no computers, no software, nothing. How would you even begin? Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's pretty much the huge management challenge the ancient Mesopotamians faced, and their solution, it literally changed the world. So first things first, where in the world are we talking about? To really get how this amazing civilization started, we have to look at the land itself. It all starts with geography. The name itself is the biggest clue. Mesopotamia is a Greek word. You see, meso means middle, and potamos means river. So Mesopotamia is simply the land between the rivers. Super easy to remember for your exam, right? And which 2 rivers are we talking about? The Tigris and the Euphrates. Now, what's crazy is that most of this area is actually a desert. But these rivers were like lifelines. They would flood and leave behind this super rich, fertile soil, especially in the south. This turned the desert into a food-making factory. It was like they hit the agricultural jackpot. Okay, so you've got tons and tons of food. So what happens next? Well, more people can live there, and not everyone has to be a farmer anymore. And slowly but surely, the world's very first big cities start to pop up. So food was sorted. They were masters at growing wheat and barley. But their land was missing some really important stuff. They had almost no stone to make tools, no wood for things like carts and boats, and no metal for jewelry or weapons. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, a massive surplus of food. On the other, they desperately needed basic materials. So what do you do when you have a lot of one thing, but you need something else? You trade, of course. They packed up all their extra grain and sent it out, and in return, they got the stone, wood, and metal they needed. And the easiest, cheapest way to move all that heavy grain? By boat. The Euphrates River basically became their ancient national highway, connecting them to everyone. But with cities growing and trade getting bigger, a whole new problem appeared. How do you keep track of everything? All the goods coming in, all the goods going out, how do you manage it all? The answer was an invention that was a total game changer. You could call it their ancient super app, writing. Now, writing didn't begin with beautiful poetry or epic stories. Nope. It started with boring lists. Just look at this. It's one of the first tablets ever found from the city of Uruk. It's basically an ancient shopping list for the temple. You can clearly see the signs for an ox, some fish, and numbers. It was all about keeping accounts. After a while, they realized that drawing little pictures for everything was way too slow. So they got smarter. They started using a reed to press wedge-shaped signs into wet clay. This new script was called Cuneiform, and honestly, this was the software that ran their entire civilization. Okay, everyone, pay attention. Bachcho, mark kar lo isko. This is a super important question that comes up in exams all the time. Why was writing invented in Mesopotamia? The main reason is simple. You can't run a complex city from memory. They needed a way to keep records of everything. What was coming in, what was going out from the temples, who owned what, all the deals and agreements. It was all about organization. So now we know about their cities and their amazing invention of writing. How about we take a little walk? A virtual tour through the streets of Ur, one of the earliest cities they've dug up. Just look at this map of Ur. What do you notice? The streets are all narrow and twisty, right? There's no proper planning here, not like what you see in Mohenjo-daro. This also tells us something interesting. Wheeled carts couldn't fit through these tiny lanes. So everything, like grain and firewood, had to be brought in on the backs of donkeys. And their houses were pretty cool. They didn't have any windows facing the street. All the light and fresh air came from a courtyard in the middle of the house. This design gave families a whole lot of privacy from all the noise and chaos outside. And check this out. This is hilarious. They found these clay tablets with superstitions written on them. One of them says that if your front door opened outwards, it was bad luck. And get this, it meant the wife would be a total pain for her husband. Can you imagine? So, we've seen their cities, we've seen how they lived, but why are we still talking about them thousands of years later? Well, it's because their gifts, their legacy, are still with us every single day. You know all that math you do in school? Multiplication, division, square roots? They came up with that.
And time. The very idea of a year having 12 months, a day having 24 hours, and an hour having 60 minutes, that's all from them. So the crucial point is, your exam timer is a gift from them.
For them, writing was the invention that changed everything. It let them build massive, complex societies. So I have a question for you. What's the one single invention that is changing our world in the same huge way today? Think about it and let me know your answer in the comments below. And that's our super quick revision. Tension ni lene ka, just revise these points and you'll absolutely rock it. Make sure you share this explainer with your friends who might need it. All the best for your exams. You are going to do great.